Well, that was a wild week. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Dylan Knows. It is December 7th, Saturday, December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. It's 11:26 p.m. here in Reisterstown, Maryland. And this is episode 583 of UFOs and Krampus, a wild week. It's been crazy, and it's, every once in a while you're going to get these weeks during the year. They just happen to happen. And it's kind of interesting that it happened the week after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving week was so slow. My episode didn't even hit an hour last week. This one will. I'll tell you that one right now. It'll take at least an hour and a half probably today. So because we got a lot to talk about, because a lot of stuff happened, not just in pop culture, but in the world in general. And it's really beginning to feel like, with the election and with all the stuff that's been happening, I've been telling you about all the earthquakes and the fires and stuff like that, that something is coming. And we thought it was this week with the UFO scare. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But it wasn't. Yet there was a lot of stuff that did happen. We're going to go over that. Plus, it was Krampusnacht. For us Germans, it is early celebration of Christmas, the day before St. Nicholas Day. And basically, it's Krampus is a demonic creature who works with Santa. And if you are good, you'll get presents. If you're bad, Krampus will grab all the bad kids, put them in a sack, take them to the woods, and beat the shit out of them. We need to do more of that more often. Syria got the shit beat out of them by the rebels. South Korea almost got shit on this week. There were fires. There were earthquakes. There were blizzards. There was starts of new movies and TV shows. There were finishes of TV shows and movies. There were new trailers that came out, Anniversaries. A clipper that's supposed to clip Maryland, but really didn't do much. I got a new idea for the 12 Days of Christmas. Pissed off about no local Interstellar stuff. A great trailer called The Gorge coming up. New podcasts. Wheel of Time dropped something on there. Notre Dame, not the football team that sucks ass, but the actual Notre Dame Cathedral in France. Saudi Arabia, teasers, John Cena. What else we got here? New food items, new horror Christmas movies, closings, openings, the death of someone close to me, Chi-Chi's. Taylor Swift. I think I talked about this last week with Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld, Witcher 4, Section 31, Saoirse Ronan, all kinds of fun stuff. So we got a lot to talk about, and I've talked enough here. So first, let's talk about what's going on with my life here. First up, this is Dylan Knows. This is my main show. But I also do offshoots here and there, the List Show, and interviews with myself. With Christmas coming, I'm going to do something similar that I did at Christmas, or rather at Halloween, where I did the 13 days of Halloween. This one, I'm going to do the 12 days of Christmas. Starting this week on my daughter's 18th birthday. Yes, her birthday's on Thursday. She turns 18 on Thursday. She ages out of her scouts, which kind of sucks, but she can now be an adult person, so she can still go to the scout meetings, but she just won't be scouting anymore. But she will be an adult, and if they need extra adults to go on camping trips and stuff, my daughter absolutely can. She'll be considered an adult leader. So that's pretty cool. And it's mostly going to be list stuff about Christmas things. I do think I'm going to premiere my new show In Defense Of, because I do have a Christmas episode of In Defense Of I want to work on. So I might debut that this week, or during this 12 Days of Christmas thing going on. So sort of some of the other stuff I'm going to have two top 10 movies of two directors who have ties to Christmas. I might do that as one show, because it should be really quick, both of those. I've got the best Christmas movies, the best Christmas specials, and the best Christmas TV episodes, all separated, different lists and stuff like that. What else do I have? This is the In Defense Of episode, which I'm planning on doing that as well. My daughter's 18th birthday, she was born in 2006. So I'm going to do top 18 movies of 2006. I think it's going to be the first one I'm going to do. And I forget the other ones that I've written down, but I've got a whole bunch of other ones ready to go, like what's great about Christmas. I was thinking about doing a Christmas music one, but I don't think I'm going to. But we'll see how things go. Oh, winter's going to be coming up here soon. So I've got the top winter movies. So doing a lot of that stuff. So I'll be doing that here starting this week, probably starting my 12 days of Christmas, since it's not that far away. It's the 7th. Christmas is on the 25th. So you do the math, 15 days. No, 18 days. Didn't mean to freak you out there. Sorry, 18 days to Christmas. So I ain't that a long time. Tomorrow, Sunday, both the Ravens and the Commanders are on their bye, so no football for me. I'll be going to a Christmas tree farm, not with Taylor Swift, unfortunately. Christmas tree farm with my in-laws to pick out their tree. They still get a live tree, and we're going to have dinner down there, so it should be nice. Just going to be us, so it's going to be a nice, chill day. My daughter and my wife did a Mount Vernon trail today. It's my daughter's last trail, or not hike, last hike as a scout, and it's a full circle. The first hike they ever did was Mount Vernon 5 years ago, also when they just were starting out. So that's kind of cool. So they got that going on too. So that's pretty cool. There was supposed to be a clipper supposed to come through on Thursday, December 5th. December 5th has a big, interesting thing here in Maryland. At the beginning of the century, it seemed like for the 7-8 straight years almost, on December 5th, we got some form of snowfall. Sometimes it was a heavy snowfall. Sometimes it was a light dusting, but we still got snowfall every December 5th, like clockwork, for close to 8 to 10 years. And then it just sort of fizzled out, and we haven't really had one happen until this clipper was supposed to drop a bunch of stuff on us, according to the weather maps. But again, as I've been saying a lot about weather people, they can only say what they see and make their judge what they are, analyze what they see there. And then a lot of times they're wrong. In this case, this clipper was started snowing about 4:45. Because I got up at 4:30, looked out my bathroom window, and there was no snow, nothing on the ground. Went to the bathroom, and after I went to the bathroom, about 10 minutes later, I got up, looked out again while I was waiting for the water. After I flushed the toilet, the water to settle so I could turn my shower on. Looked out front again, and it was coming down really hard. Snow was on the cars. It was in the grass. That was great. It's like, okay, we're going to get some snow now. Roads were fine. Took my shower, got dressed, and there's Pepper. We'll talk about Pepper here in a second. And went downstairs and did some stuff, got my lunch ready, and fed this boy here, whose butt you're looking at. Stop showing off your butt. This isn't you. This isn't my only fans, only kitty fans. So about 5:15, about a half hour after I saw the snow falling, I looked out on my deck. Ow! He's sticking his claws in me. Hi, Pepper. Yes, this is my kitty. Yes, he is there. I looked out on my deck, and you're licking my hair. Okay. I looked out on my deck, and there was barely any snow on the deck. It had looked like it had melted or blown away, at least, because the wind was starting to pick up, and it wasn't snowing anymore. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. So I got up I went out to my car about 6:20 to heat it up and run it, and there was like no snow on the car except for a little bit on the rooftop and none on the grass. So it was not very exciting, but it did see some. It did snow on December 5th, so that's interesting to see that as well. Pepper, I'm talking about you now. I don't know what you're doing. You're gonna jump off of me here in a second, probably claw my back up. Nope. Ow, yes, you're gonna claw my back up. Stop. I put up our Christmas tree last weekend, and Pepper ignored it for the longest time, and then climbed up into it like Monday or Tuesday, and all of a sudden, the middle section of our lights on the tree where the kitty was mysteriously went out. Plus, a lot of the arms of the tree were now hanging lower because someone, a little chunky, he's not chunky, he's just big boned. He's not even big boned. He's not even that heavy. He's just annoying me right now because he's just sitting on my back, whipping his tail around on me. So he got into the tree up into the middle part of it. And so this afternoon, I took a look at the tree and I saw a wire hanging down, and looked like it was supposed to go into another wire that was hanging down. So I put them together, plugged in my lights, and they work now. So my lights are fine. I went out and I got the outside of the house decorated. So I got my inflatables up, my lights. It looks really good. I'm very proud of it. I posted some pictures on my Facebook and my Instagram. There we go. And there's the kitty butthole again. And then I'm going to do the inside of the house when I get a second. I would have done it tomorrow, but we're doing this Christmas tree thing. So I'll do it during the week, or I'll do it by next weekend, which is only the 13th. Or rather, I should say the 14th, because there was a Friday the 13th coming up. That's right. Friday the 13th in December is coming up. So that's what Pepper got into, but he hasn't been in there since, so I don't know what's going on with that either. He's been under the tree a lot lately too, so that's good. Some other local news, a brush fire shut down I-83, which is near where my wife works, near Cold Spring Lane for at least 3-4 hours during rush hour due to the drought we've been having, but the firemen were able to put it down and get it taken care of. That was not the only thing that happened this week. We had a fire that hit the harbor tunnel, which shut that down, truck fire that shut down the harbor tunnel for the longest time. I can't even see where that is. I'll find it eventually. It caused a lot of problems for people to get to their jobs. In fact, 2 people that I work with were about an hour and a half late due to that. So that was kind of sucky for that. Also locally, Mother's, a local bar restaurant in Federal Hill, will be shutting down in January. So that's kind of a depressing sort of thing. But it is what it is, and it happens. So if I find that 95, maybe it's on the other page, other side here. So yeah, a lot of stuff, happening in the area. Now, it didn't affect me really in any way. So got kind of lucky with that. So I think there was an accident on Tuesday that caused me to be late by about 5 to 10 minutes, but I had left early, so I was on the road for about an hour. So all kinds of shitty stuff. So a lot of weird stuff going on here. This past weekend also, Fortnite OG debuted yesterday, which was a new game mode where they're going to redo the entire Chapter 1 Season 1 island, because the Chapter 1 Season 1 nostalgia assholes cannot stop whining about wanting to get the old map back. I'm enjoying the new Chapter 6 map. It's a little off kilter, but I've won a couple games already and won a couple with my son. So, and it's just the gun's getting used to it. And there's some new things I'm not a big fan of, but it is a very Japanese culture one. Very kind of Miyazaki-esque because you got to find Sprite and do stuff with them. They can help you with that. All new POIs, which is really, really nice. A whole brand new map to explore. It's pretty gorgeous looking. And then I tried the OG map, and it was just meh, as expected, and just all the nostalgic scrubs who just keep whining and whining about the old island. Finally getting everything they want. They're still bitching about it. So I'm enjoying the Fortnite right now. Finances are a little low right now. There is, I want to get the Spider-Man bundle. They have 3 new Spider-Verse skins that came out that I really, really want to get. And then the OG has a battle pass as well with some interesting stuff on it I wouldn't mind getting, even though I'm not a big OG fan, but I wouldn't mind getting more skins and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. But just kind of bleh. Oh, that's what that is. Okay. So we had that. I've been talking about over the last, seems like the last couple months now, there have been massive amounts of earthquakes that have been hitting out on the West Coast. Majority of them been in the California area, but there was one that hit off the coast of Oregon not too long ago. Well, we had another one this week, a 7.0 earthquake hit off the coast of California this week. A tsunami warning went up for almost the entire western West Coast and was immediately almost shut down because it didn't cause any issues with a tsunami, but they just wanted to be prepared for that. So I talked about Krampusnacht. The other big deal was that apparently back in, now this is where it gets a little crazy, either 1997 or 2007, something like that, there was a guy who used a computer program that looked at words or whatever and was able to make some predictions about the future depending on certain, I didn't quite understand what it was. They were just trying to throw things at us. And apparently was correctly called a number of things, including a tsunami and stuff like that on the exact date and time when it happened. So people were really taking it into seriously when he made all of these predictions. He made that there would be a UFO invasion at the tail end of 2024, early December 2024, 3rd and 4th of December. Or was it 2nd and 3rd of December, something like that. Aliens, UFOs invasion were supposed to invade the United States, or not just the world in general, and the whole world would know about UFOs. So all over TikTok, all over social media, people talking about this UFO stuff coming, and no UFOs came. However, and former member of the show, Jerry Fletcher, lives up in New Jersey. New Jersey this week was inundated with numerous sightings of weird drones that they don't know what they were. Mysterious drones appeared in the skies above New Jersey. And my former co-host, Jerry Fletcher, she saw a couple of them. Her son saw some of them as well. And no one still has an idea about what these are doing or what's going on with them. The FBI has been called and has been informed, and they are investigating. So, and they have pictures of them too. So it's not like it was anything, we saw these and there were no pictures. No, there's lots of pictures of drones, just lots of weird drones just flying over New Jersey. So no idea what's going on with that. That's crazy as well. And we got more coming up, but right now, right now that we got so much to talk about, I believe this is one of the best movies of the year, and it did not get enough, did not get out to enough theaters, did not get enough advertising, did not get enough buzz. Still made some good money though for the small film, and I love the film. We Live in Time with Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield. Outstanding film fantastic film, one of my favorites, if not the best film of the year that I've seen. And it is finally going to debut in the UK and Ireland on January 1st, where it will get its proper box office numbers, because it is a UK, for the most part, UK movie, but they decided to open it in the United States first for whatever reason. I don't know. I wish they would have opened it wider. I wish they would have had at least, maybe not 2,000 theaters, but at least double what you had, to about maybe 1,000 theaters, because it is Florence Pugh, it is Andrew Garfield. People like them. It is a romantic drama. People like romantic drama, and the two had amazing chemistry with each other. And it was good adult romantic drama, and it did not get the love I think it deserved. Made okay money here in the United States, but I think it's going to really do well overseas. It is now available on Amazon Prime to stream. You have to pay for it. It's like $13.99. It looks like is what I saw. So that's not too bad, actually. So I went also looking for the animated film Flow, which is no dialogue and has a black cat, a dog, a capybara, and a few other animals all working together in like a post-apocalyptic world. I really want to see that also. It supposedly hit movie theaters, hit one movie theater in my area, the Charles, an indie art film theater down in Baltimore City this week. But I think it's supposed to hit Amazon. It wasn't in Amazon on Thursday when I checked, but they might not have dropped it until Friday. So I haven't checked since then. So I am going to do that. So I'm going to check that out as well. So I'm kind of upset that We Live in Time didn't get a lot more love, but it is now available on Prime for $13.99 or whatever. Please check it out, and just for my sake, just check it out. I think you're going to like it a lot. It is rated R, and it is grown-up romantic drama. There is sex and nudity in it, but it is a brilliant movie, and the leads have extreme chemistry. It's so great. On the flip side, I'm pissed this week, and for 1 week only, and it was delayed on top of that, the 10th anniversary of Interstellar, Christopher Nolan's masterpiece with Anne Hathaway, Matthew McConaughey, Michael Caine, and Matt Damon in it. It was supposed to come back out in theaters for 10th anniversary back in September, and it was going to be in IMAX. When it originally came out, I don't think it came out in IMAX 10 years ago. And Christopher Nolan had rejiggered it so that it would come out in IMAX for this 10th anniversary for a week only, they said. So I was getting excited about it. I was like, okay, I got an IMAX theater near me. And then if it's not there, there's one in Towson that I know will probably have, because they have everything else. They had We Live in Time before my AMC out here had it. So I figured it would have Interstellar too, because they've been having all these other bring movies back out in the theaters for certain things. They've been having shows for them in their movie theaters. So why wouldn't they bring another old movie out here in IMAX? And that was the problem with Wicked and Gladiator 2, and I guess maybe somewhat Moana, maybe a little bit. Those three movies, they've probably taken over the IMAX theaters, and the movie theater companies know that they will fill those theaters for those movies, the IMAX theaters for those movies. They're not so sure about a 10-year-old movie that a lot of people might not have liked. So they looked at what was going to be making them more money, and they thought that no one was going to come see Interstellar in IMAX, and they didn't have enough IMAX theaters to do it, so they just did not order it. So the one near me didn't get it. The one in Towson didn't get it. The one in Hunt Valley didn't have it because they don't have an IMAX theater. They had one out in White Marsh, which is a bit of a hike for me, about 35-minute hike from here. And I might have gone to it, except they only had 2 showings of it, and it didn't start till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's ridiculous, because I'd rather would have seen it in the morning. I would have taken the day off and gone to see it in the morning. so that I could get back in time to get my kids from school. And if I went out to White Marsh, I would have to traverse my way through rush hour traffic on a Friday, and I'd be late anyway because it's a 2.5 hour long movie. If it started at 3 o'clock, it wouldn't be over till like 5:30. So I wouldn't get home till like 6:30 probably due to traffic. And my kids need to get picked up at 4:30, so that wasn't going to work. So very pissed. It's only going to last a week. And I've been checking the theater, see if they're just popping it in there, and they're not showing it at all, any of these theaters. So just like, fine. So no Interstellar, 10th anniversary for me, which sucks ass because I really, really want to see it. Doctor Who's Christmas special, an annual tradition, and the second one of the Disney series. We get our first trailer for it. With the new Dr. Ncuti Wada. It looks pretty decent. James Gunn's Creature Commandos, which leads off his rebranding of the DCU, came out this week to huge rave reviews. And during the interviews for it, he said that there were plans for 3 separate spin-offs of Guardians of the Galaxy. One was a Ravager series, one was a legendary Star-Lord movie, and one was a Rocket Raccoon Groot project, which hadn't really got off the ground yet, but none of that's going to happen now because Gunn's not involved. He's now part of DC. But Creature Commandos apparently is a show. I thought it was only a movie, but it's a show. And it's been getting rave reviews, and everybody says that it's like the perfect, beginning to James Gunn's DCU run. So hopefully that'll continue on that as well. Adam Scott and Danielle Deadweiler are set to star in The Saviors, a dark comedic thriller coming out here soon. A Scrubs reboot is in the works. Yippee. I'm so excited for that, but everything's getting a reboot nowadays, so why not Scrubs? And Bill Lawrence, the guy who created Scrubs, is working on the reboot. Filming has finished on The Thursday Murder Club, which should come out next year on Netflix, directed by Chris Columbus, with a great cast based on the bestseller. Also from Netflix, the second season of Wednesday has finished filming as well. It's due to come out in this crazy streaming 2025 year, later in the year probably. And we got our first behind-the-scenes look at it with Jenna Elfman in full Wednesday gear in front of like an arch at her school. Looks really, really kind of cool, and looks like they got it all pretty good there. The Last of Us Season 2 is set for a spring 2025 debut on HBO. Another, as I said, huge streaming show coming up on in 2025 as well. The Rig Season 2 trailer revealed this week, set to debut January 2nd, 2025. Not as big as a deal as some of these other ones, but still a massive streaming show that got a second season, so it's doing pretty good there. Sydney Sweeney is set to portray Kim Novak in Scandalous, a movie that's going to focus on her love affair with Sammy Davis Jr., directed by Coleman Domingo, who will not be playing Sammy Davis Jr., someone else's. I forget the actor's name. I think I mentioned this before, but I love to talk about Sydney Sweeney because she's a hottie. And so Cutie Patootie, she's not a cutie patootie, she's a fucking hot-ass, sexy bitch. She's not a bitch, hot-ass, sexy woman who would like to do dirty things to. We're not going to talk about that right now. The Great When, a fantasy book by Alan Moore, is set to get a TV adaptation, and he couldn't be more thrilled about it. It's actually a graphic novel. He couldn't be more thrilled about it. He's usually very grumpy about adaptations of his projects, but the fact that this one is going to be adapted to a TV show, he's very excited about it and very happy about it, so that's interesting. Bill Belichick, former Patriots coach, is interviewing with UNC for their head coaching job. That'd be very interesting to see him doing college instead of an NFL team, though there are plenty of really good NFL teams who are going to be needing new coaches by the end of the year. It's award seasons. We got the Saturn Award nominations, the Critics' Choice Award nominations. The AFI, actually, AFI named their top movies of 2024. And the Board of Reviews Awards were the first award show of the year. And we're going to cover all those real quick. That's why this is going to take a little while. So I'm just going to blow through these. First up, we'll do the Board of Reviews. Board of Reviews. Is it Board of Reviews? National Board of Review. Okay. Should be that one. There we go. Let's see if they have a list of the National Board of Review stuff. Here we go. All right. Best film, according to the Board of Review, was Wicked. The best director was John M. Chu for Wicked. Best actor was Daniel Craig for Queer. Best actress was Nicole Kidman for Baby Girl. Best supporting actor was Kieran Culkin for Real Pain. Best supporting actress was Elle Fanning for A Complete Unknown. Best original screenplay was Hard Truths by Mike Leigh. Best adapted screenplay was Sing Sing by Clint Bentley and Greg Kruder. Breakout performance was Mikey Madison in Nora. Best directorial debut, India Donaldson, The Good One. Best animated feature, Flow. Best international film, The Seed of the Sacred Fig. Best documentary, Sugar Cane. Best ensemble, Conclave. The MBR Freedom of Expression, No Other Land. MBR Spotlight Award, creative collaboration of Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Outstanding achievement in stunt artistry, Furiosa Mad Max Saga. And outstanding achievement in cinematography, Nosferatu by Jaron Blaschke. So that's the National Board of Reviews Awards. So that's a good sign of what to expect of the upcoming Academy Awards. Not every National Board of Review movie has won the Oscar, but a bunch of them have. So Wicked is now as of now is now the movie to beat. Let's take a look at the AFI's top movies of the year. They're not really awards, but AFI movies of the year. All right, AFI Awards top 10 movies. So these aren't really awards. These are just their motion pictures of the year. Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, A Real Pain, Sing Sing, and Wicked. So that's all they did was just their top movies. So that's a good sign for, again, the AFI, American Film Institute, shows a lot of those as well. Critics' Choice Awards are also always good. This is both TV and movies. So this could be a long list, but it's a list that we need to talk about. Give me a second here. Trying to delete some of this stuff here that's been hanging around. I'll see that. All right. So the Critics' Choice Awards. Awards 2024. Oh, it's only the television? I thought the movies were done also. All right, so the Critics' Choice Awards television nominations. So I guess they didn't do the movies yet. All right. So these are just television ones. All right. Best drama series, The Day of the Jackal, The Diplomat, Evil, Industry, Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire, The Old Man, Shogun, Slow Horses. Best actor in a drama series, Jeff Bridges, The Old Man, Ncuti Gatwa for Doctor Who, Eddie Redmayne, The Day of the Jackal, Hiroyuki Sanada for Shogun, Rufus Sewell for The Diplomat, Anthony Starr for The Boys. Best actress in a drama series, Catriona Balfe for Outlander, Kathy Bates for Matlock, Shanola Hampton for Found, Keira Knightley for Black Doves, Kerry Russell for The Diplomat, Anna Sawai for Shogun. Best Supporting Actor in a Drama Series, Tadanobu Asano for Shogun, Michael Emerson for Evil, Mark Paul Gosselaar for Found, Takahiro Hira for Shogun, John Lithgow for The Old Man, Sam Reed for Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire. Best Supporting Actress in a Drama Series, Moeka Hoshi for Shogun, Allison Janney for The Diplomat, Nicole Kidman for Lioness, Sky P. Marshall for Matlock, Anna Sawai for Pachinko, and Fiona Shaw for Bad Sisters. Best Comedy Series, Abbott Elementary, English Teacher, Hacks, Nobody Wants This, Only Murders in the Building, Somebody Somewhere, St. Denis Medical, What We Do in the Shadows. Best Actor in a Comedy Series, Brian Jordan Alvarez for English Teacher, Adam Brody for Nobody Wants This, David Allen Greer for St. Denis Medical, Steve Martin for Only Murders in the Building, Kaven Novak for What We Do in the Shadows, and Martin Short for Only Murders in the Building. Best Actress in a Comedy Series, Kristen Bell for Nobody Wants This, Quinta Brunson for Abbott Elementary, Natasha Demetrio for What We Do in the Shadows, Bridget Everett for Somebody Somewhere, Jean Smart for Hacks, and Kristen Wiig for Palm Royale. Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series, Paul W. Downs for Hacks, Asher Grodman for Ghosts, Harvey Guillen for What We Do in the Shadows, Brandon Scott James for Ghosts, Michael Urie for Shrinking, Tyler James Williams for Abbott Elementary. Best Supporting Actress Comedy Series, Liza Colin-Zayas for The Bear, Hannah Einbinder for Hacks, Janelle James for Abbott Elementary, Stephanie Koenig for English Teacher, Patty Lupone for Agatha All Along, Annie Potts for Young Sheldon. Best Limited Series, Baby Reindeer, Disclaimer, Masters of the Air, Mr. Bates versus the Post Office, The Penguin, Ripley, True Detective, Night Country, and We Were the Lucky Ones. Best Movie Made for Television, The Great Lillian Hall, It's What's Inside, Musica, Out of My Mind, Rebel Ridge, VHS Beyond. Best Actor in a Limited Series on a Movie Made for Television, Colin Farrell for The Penguin, Richard Gadd for Baby Reindeer, Tom Hollander for Feud, Capote versus the Swans, Kevin Kline for Disclaimer, Ewan McGregor for A Gentleman in Moscow, Andrew Scott for Ripley. Best Actress in a Limited Series or Movie Made for Television, Cate Blanchett for Disclaimer, Jodie Foster, True Detective, Night Country, Jessica Lange, The Great Lillian Hall, Christine Milioti for The Penguin, Phoebe Ray Taylor for Out of My Mind, Naomi Watts for Feud, Capote versus the Swans. Best Supporting Actor Limited Series or Movie Made for Television, Robert Downey Jr. for The Sympathizer, Hugh Grant for The Regime, Ron Cephas Jones for Genius, MLK/X, Logan Lerman for We Were the Lucky Ones, Liev Schreiber for The Perfect Couple, Treat Williams for Feud, Capote versus the Swans. Best Supporting Actress in a Limited Series on Movie Made for Television, Dakota Fanning for Ripley, Lila George for Disclaimer, Betty Gilpin for Three Women, Jessica Gunning for Baby Reindeer, Deidre O'Connell for The Penguin, and Kali Reyes for True Detective and Night Country. Best Foreign Language Series, Acapulco, Citadel, Honey Bunny, La Machina, The Law According to Lydia Poet, My Brilliant Friend, Pachinko, Senna, Squid Game. Best Animated Series, Batman, Cape Crusader, Bluey, Bob's Burgers, Invincible, The Simpsons, X-Men 97. Best Talk Show, Hot Ones, The Daily Show, The Graham Norton Show, John Mulaney Presents Everyone's in L.A., The Kelly Clarkson Show, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Best Comedy Central, Ali Wong for Single Lady, Jim Gaffigan for The Skinny, Kevin James for Irregardless, Nikki Glazer for Someday You'll Die, Rachel Bloom, Death, Let Me Do My Special, Rami Youssef for More Feelings. So yeah, that's just it. So I guess I thought they did more than that, but I guess they just did the TV shows now and they'll do the movies later. So some good ones there as well. And finally, we have the Saturn Award nominations. Let's see. The nominees for Best and is it the only one they have? Yeah, they only have Best Animated Feature. So let's just take. There we go. The best, the 1990. Best science fiction film. That's why the Saturns are great, because it's just science fiction and fantasy stuff. Best science fiction film: Dune Part 2, Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Megalopolis, Venom: The Last Dance. Best fantasy film: Beetlejuice, Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, My Old Ass, Poor Things, Wonka. Best horror film: Abigail, Alien Romulus, The First Omen, In a Violent Nature, Long Legs. I think Long Legs is going to win that one. Quiet Place Day One, Smile 2. Best action adventure film: Argyle, Deadpool and Wolverine, The Fall Guy, Fly Me to the Moon, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, Twisters. Best thriller film: Blink Twice, Civil War, Saltburn, Strange Darling, Speak No Evil, Wolves. Best independent film: Dream Scenario, Late Night with the Devil, Maxine, The Substance. Ooh, that one's going to win that one too, I think. Thelma and the Thicket. Best international film: The Animal Kingdom, Godzilla -1. Yes. Kill, Monkey Man, Oddity, Society of the Snow. Best animated film: The Boy and His Heron, Despicable Me 4, Inside Out 2, Kung Fu Panda 4, Spy X Family Code White, Transformers 1, and The Wild Robot. Yes. Best actor in a film: Tom Blythe for The Hunger Games, Nicolas Cage for Dream Scenario, Timothée Chalamet for Dune Part 2, David Dastmalchian for Late Night with the Devil, Kyle Gallner for Strange Darlings, Michael Keaton for Beetlejuice, Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool and Wolverine. Best actress in a film: Willa Fitzgerald for Strange Darling, Demi Moore for The Substance, Lupita Nyong'o for A Quiet Place Day One, Winona Ryder for Beetlejuice, Naomi Scott for Smile 2, June Squibb for Thelma, Anya Taylor-Joy for Furiosa, Mad Max Saga. Best supporting actor in a film: Josh Brolin for Dune Part 2, Austin Butler for Dune Part 2, Nicolas Cage for Long Legs, Willem Dafoe for Beetlejuice, Hugh Jackman for Deadpool and Wolverine, Owen Teague for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, David Johansen for Alien Romulus. Best supporting actress in a film: Emma Corrin for Deadpool and Wolverine, Rebecca Ferguson, Dune Part 2, Barbara Hershey, Strange Darling, Juliette Lewis, The Thicket, Margaret Qualley, The Substance, Kali Spani, Alien Romulus, and Zendaya for Dune Part 2. Best younger performer in a film: Freya Allen for King of the Planet of the Apes, McKenna Grace for Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, Kaylee Hoddle, Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, Kayla Lane for Wonka, Jenna Ortega for Beetlejuice, Alicia Weir for Abigail, and Rachel Ziegler for The Hunger Games. Best film direction: Fede Alvarez for Alien Romulus, Wes Ball for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Tim Burton for Beetlejuice, Sean Levy for Deadpool and Wolverine, J.T. Molnar for Strange Darling, Denis Villeneuve for Dune Part 2, and Takashi Yamazaki for Godzilla -1. Best film screenwriting: Beetlejuice, Deadpool, Wolverine, Dune Part 2, Godzilla -1, Long Legs, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Strange Darling. I'm trying to get through these so I got more stuff to do. Best film music: Beetlejuice, Dune Part 2, Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, Hunger Games, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Smile 2. Best film makeup: Alien Romulus, Beetlejuice, Dune Part 2, Long Legs, Smile 2, The Substance. That one's going to win that one. Best film editing: Beetlejuice, Civil War, Deadpool and Wolverine, Dune Part 2, Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, Strange Darling. Best film production design: Alien Romulus. That should win that one. Beetlejuice, Deadpool and Wolverine, Dune Part 2, Long Legs, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Best film costumes: Beetlejuice, Deadpool and Wolverine, Dune Part 2, Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, Hunger Games, and Wonka. That should win that one. Best film visual special effects: Alien Romulus, Beetlejuice, Deadpool, Wolverine, Dune Part 2, Godzilla -1, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Twisters. Best science fiction television series: Three Body Problem, Ahsoka, The Ark, Dark Matter, Fallout, Star Trek Discovery. Best fantasy television series: Avatar: Last Airbender, that's the live action one. For All Mankind, House of the Dragon, Lord of the Rings of Power, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Spiderwick Chronicles. Best horror television series: Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire, Creep Show, Evil, From, Grotesquerie, Teacup, and The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. Best superhero television series: Agatha All Along, The Boys, Loki, The Penguin, Superman and Lois, The Umbrella Academy. Best action thriller television series: Bosch Legacy, Cobra Kai, Found, High Potential, Presumed Innocent, True Detective, Night Country, Tulsa King. Best Adventure Television Series, La Brea, Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Reacher, Shogun, Sugar. Best Television Presentation, Apartment 7A, Don't Move, The Fall of the House of Usher, Fargo, Ripley, Salem's Lot, Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. Best Animated Television Series, Batman Cape Crusader, Gremlins, The Wild Batch, Kaiju number 8, Star Trek Lower Decks, Star Wars, The Bad Batch, X-Men 97. Best Genre Comedy Television Series, Chucky, Ghosts, Only Murders in the Building, Resident Alien, Ted, What We Do in the Shadows. Best Actor Television Series, Colin Farrell for The Penguin, Walter Goggins for Fallout, John Hamm for Fargo, Andrew Lincoln for Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, Harold Perrineau for From, Norman Reedus, Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, Kurt Russell, Wyatt Russell for Monarch, Legacy of the Monsters. Best Actress of Television Series, Emma Darcy for House of the Dragon, Rosario Dawson for Ahsoka, Jodie Foster for True Detective Night Country, Denai Guerrera for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, Catherine Hahn for Agatha All Along, Melissa McBride, The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, Ella Purnell, Fallout. Best Supporting Actor in a Television Series, Matt Berry, What We Do in the Shadows, Lamorne Morris for Fargo, Aaron Moten for Fallout, Matt Smith for House of the Dragons, Anthony Starr for The Boys, Henry Thomas for The Fall of the House of Usher, Brandon Scott James for Ghosts. Best Supporting Actress in a Television Series, Jennifer Connelly, Dark Matter, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Fargo, Pollyanna McIntosh for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, Kristen Milotti for The Penguin, Elizabeth Saunders for From, and Sawai from Monarch, Legacy of the Monsters, Rebecca Wizaki for Ghosts. Just keeps on going. I'm not going to do any more, but there's a bunch more. So I wanted to get some of the big ones out. So award season is in season, as it were. And I'm sorry that I took up 20 minutes of your time reading all that. So let's move on. Anniversaries. Beverly Hills Cop is 40 years old this week. The Librarian's Quest for the Spear, the first Librarian's special, debuted 20 years ago this week. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the animated movie's 60th anniversary yesterday, 12/6, actually 2 days ago now, 12/6, the 60th anniversary, and it also aired on 12/6. Flash Gordon, 44 years ago this week. Flash, and that's it for that page. Turn the page over. Superman and Lois concludes. Huge critical acclaim. It is the last show in the Arrowverse, and the Arrowverse is now history, but it ended on a high note. Everybody who saw it absolutely adored the finale and said this is very well the best Superman that we've seen in a long time. The American Primeval trailer debuted as well. I didn't get a chance to look at it before I did the show, but it's set to debut January 9th. That's news. That's Government Cheese. We get our first look at Government Cheese, the new David Oyelowo's Apple TV comedy series. The reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer starts filming, and Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. have joined the cast. So good to see Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. together again. The White Lotus returns for a third season in February 2025. Again, another huge streaming show coming out in 2025. Panic Carefully cast Julia Roberts and Elizabeth Olsen. That's going to be a thriller to watch with those two in it. Sophie Turner is set to star in Joan, a TV series about a real-life jewel thief, Joan Harrington. Not Gonna Lie, Kylie Kelsey's podcast debuts this week. So she's now not the only Kelsey that doesn't have anything. One of the best trailers I saw this week, I watched this week, is not going to come out in theaters. It's only going to be on Apple TV, and that pisses me off. Scott Derrickson, who directed The Black Phone and Doctor Strange and is currently directing The Black Phone 2, directed a movie called The Gorge and released the first trailer. His Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller, I think, are the two actors in it. And it's phenomenal. You got to see the trailer for yourself, but the premise is two of the best snipers, one from like Russia, I believe, and one from the United States, are tasked to go to this location surrounding a giant gorge which you can't see the bottom of, and they're going to stay there for a year, just them on opposite sides of the gorge, and they cannot talk to each other. And we learn that their job is to stop anything from coming out of the gorge because it is the doorway to hell. And you see one scene of the dude dropping a grenade down there and blowing it up, and you hear a loud monster go, rah. And of course, it's a handsome guy and a beautiful woman, and they are bored. And after a few weeks, they start, talking to each other or doing stuff. They can't communicate because they can't leave their post, but they can do, flash signs, and they can do stuff like that. They play chess and stuff like that. But then the guy decides he wants to go see the girl because I think something happens or whatever. And the rope snaps and he falls into the gorge. So the girl goes in to save him, and they have to escape the gorge. It looks excellent. It looks really, really good. And unfortunately, I will not be able to see it because it will not be released in theaters. So I don't want to get Apple Plus. Set to debut on Valentine's Day, February 14th. I'm probably already going to take that day off because Captain America Brave New World comes out. So by some miracle, they decided to release it in theaters as well. I will probably go see that as well. But definitely check it out. The Gorge, definitely. Invincible Season 3 trailer set to debut February 6th. Man, everything's coming out in February. Watch that as well. They are continuing the popularity of Invincible. It's now moving the story along, and we finally get him in his blue uniform, which is awesome. Reacher Season 3 trailer debuted this week as well. That's coming out February 20th. So again, another huge hit streaming show. Also coming out in February. So that's pretty cool. This was a surprise. Didn't expect this. I saw this today. The Wheel of Time dropped a teaser for Season 3, which is supposed to be out in 2025 also. Jesus, give us a breather, man. And set to debut March 10th. So that's pretty decent. And that's it. So the rest of the stuff I have on here is all history stuff that happened or crazy stuff that happened this week. Oh, real quick. Also, no, this one isn't. There's a new rumor, and I can't trust any of these rumors because nothing is nothing, because I keep hearing that they're doing a Hawkeye Season 2 and a She-Hulk Season 2 and all this stuff, but I have not heard official line from Disney Plus that they are actually doing that. So I think it's just wishful thinking on their part. Same with this one. Rumors have been abounding in multiple locations and said that a second season of Agatha All Along is pretty much guaranteed, though it would probably be a Wiccan miniseries instead. But I think the creative team is set for Vision Quest, so I don't think they're going to be doing an Agatha All Along sequel yet, even though Disney Plus probably does want one because of the huge popularity of it. But as I said, they have not officially announced anything, though it has been popping up all over the place here. All right, so here we go. All the historical stuff that went on this week as well. First up, United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was assassinated in Manhattan this week. He is the guy that is in charge of refusing claims for people who need life-saving operations in medicine, causing them to have to pay exorbitant amounts of money, and they can't afford it and end up dying. So the fact that he was killed by somebody has gotten people happy and excited and cheering. And I'm kind of glad he's dead also, because he was an asshole, and the guy who did it has gotten away scot-free. He's had all kinds of weird stuff. It's a huge story right now. He showed his face off at a Starbucks before he put his mask on. He has wrote words on the bullets that killed them. He got away on one of those local bikes you can get in New York City. He dropped a backpack full of Monopoly money, and he just disappeared off of the face of the earth. So that's interesting stuff going on there. Syrian forces have overthrown dictator of Syria, and they now control Damascus and control the country now. The dictator for life has departed. They don't know where to, but he is gone and the rebels have taken over. America, take notes, because we're going to probably have to do something similar to that here within the next year or so. Please, let's do something like that, because we cannot survive with what's coming. South Korea, not North Korea, South Korea, the person who is a lame duck prime minister of South Korea, did not like the fact that the Congress has been not allowing him to do what he wants to do. So he was trying to declare martial law and to shut down South Korea for him to control personally. But the members of Congress got in any way they could to get into the house that was blocked off by armed forces people to get in and vote against the martial law. And they had enough votes to kick that out. That's another one to watch also. So South Korean, the dictator wannabe, has apologized for calling for martial law and will probably be impeached here soon. That'd be something else cool that would happen too. So some cool stuff happened this week that we should be taking notes on and using ourselves. Here we go again. It's December. And now, instead of just one, we now have two potential pandemics working their way to America. One right now is localized in the Congo. It is a mysterious respiratory disease, not like COVID. It's different than COVID, that has killed at least 300 plus people in the Congo. So far, it's been contained into the Congo. But remember, back in December of 2019, we started hearing about people having issues with this new disease that they were calling COVID, and we weren't expecting it to migrate to the United States or other countries, and it did. So here we are again in December again, and another virus of some kind that nobody knows about is working its way through the Congo, but so far nothing has popped up. However, on the flip side, we now have multiple cases of bird flu, H1N1, out west. Arizona has had at least 3 to 5 people infected with the H1N1 virus. And now rumors hit that a baby in California has shown signs of the H1N1 virus as well. That's a lot closer to home, and that's a lot more dangerous. Plus, the raw milk that the stupid fucking GOP MAGA shitbags have been looking at and using to drink and stuff like that is now being tested to see if bird flu is in that as well. And maybe that is how it's being transmitted. Way to go, you stupid fucks. So a lot of weird shit going on this week as well. A lot of stuff to be scared of, but also a lot of stuff to take notes on, because we're probably going to have to do similar stuff that these other places are. And on some good news, the Notre Dame Cathedral in France, which burned down, well, didn't burn down entirely, but they had a massive fire 5 years ago. What's that? The convicted felon was president at the time. He wanted to drop a nuclear water bomb on Notre Dame to put the fire out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's been rebuilt and it reopened yesterday, Saturday, in France. So Notre Dame is back up and running as well. So that's your local news for this, or news for the week. There's probably going to be a lot more coming down the line here, but that's part of what made this a wild week here as we're entering the 1 hour zone. A major death that affected me this week. Dr. Dale Yoder, my advisor at Albright College, passed away this week. He was 89 years old, but he was my advisor 30 years ago, when he was in his 50s. So he helped me through my 4 years of college. I took a number of his classes because he was a history professor and doctor of history. And he was my advisor, advised me on my schedule, and we talked I was in his office every semester, and he periodically would check up on me here and there. And as I said, I took a number of his classes as well. So Dr. Pancratz, one of my other professors at Albright, released the info on his Facebook page this week. Bob Melton, former Major League Baseball player and beloved broadcaster, died at the age of 79. Any other deaths here? Nope. Anniversaries. Godzilla -1 debuted 1 year ago this week. Woohoo! The best Godzilla movie I've ever seen. Good Will Hunting debuted 27 years ago this week. Serpico debuted 51 years ago this week. Popeye, one of the most underrated and one of the best musicals of all time, with Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall and Paul Dooley, debuted 44 years ago this week. Spies Like Us, another underrated John Landis political comedy starring Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, debuted 39 years ago this week. And Star Trek, the motion picture, that's what I did wrong. The thing that brought Star Trek back to the populace, and not a great movie, debuted 45 years ago this week. I did miss a death. I had marked it as anniversary, so we're going to cover that real quick. Disney influencer Dominique Bruno died of a food allergy at the age of 34. Boxlunch.com or something like that sent her something despite the fact that she had her food allergies listed on her Box Lunch account, and she ate it and she died. And Box Lunch has done nothing to fix the problem, so people are calling them out on that as well. All right, so that's done on my page there. So now we're back to the book. We got a lot still to go. So as I said, it'll be about another half hour probably. So we'll get this done probably about 1 a.m. But there is some cool stuff. I don't have HBO Max. I don't plan on getting HBO Max. They announced a Harry Potter TV series. That psychopathic writer is producing it, and this has a lot of influence over it. But they're going to do a TV series. When it was announced, they were going to say each season will be one book. The fans were like, okay, great. We'll be able to get perfect adaptations of the books and get all the stuff that we missed from the movies and better acting and blah, 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 blah. And then when the showrunner's like, yeah, well, we're not going to sit strictly with what's in the books. We're going to add our own little shit here and there that wasn't in the books or move some stuff around. So basically it's the same damn thing. That's the reason why everybody wanted it, was because they wanted to be straight up adaptations of it. Now they're going to find some else to bitch about, because no one has been cast yet, but the people who they are looking at for certain key roles in the grown-ups are really getting the fan base all hot and bothered. And it's sometimes not even worth it to discuss it. But we already announced that Mark Rylance was in the running for Dumbledore, but now it looks like fellow Mark Strong is also set to be in the running for the role of Dumbledore as well. Sharon Horgan is said to be reading for McGonagall. Brett Goldstein from Ted Lasso, who played Hercules and Thor, is said to be up for Hagrid. And Papa Esedin, a black actor, is said to be eyeing Snape. They're eyeing him for Snape. Now, the toxic fan base has been losing their fucking mind over this. They haven't come out and said they're getting all woke to have a black Snape. What they are saying is that the actors that they've been discussing that they want to cast in these roles look nothing like their characters that they are trying out for, because they have a preconceived notion of what they're supposed to look like due to the movies, and also because they don't maybe quite look like them right now. Makeup and all that kind of stuff is going to change all that up a little bit, and you don't want to do a similar look to all your characters you want to do your own look and want it separate from the movies. The other complaint that they've been saying is that all the actors they're looking at are too young for the roles. And I have to start laughing. It's like, if you want 7 seasons, because there's 7 books, and you might have to expand it because 4 through 7 are thick ass books. And if you want everything in it, you might have to have multiple seasons. So we might be looking upwards of 9 to 10 seasons of this show. And they're not going to do them every year. A show like this takes time, and which is a big complaint about streaming right now, is that it takes 2 to 3 years between seasons for a new season to come out, because everyone's used to, new TV seasons coming out every year. But that's due to the fact that these series are much more bigger budgeted with bigger stars, which is the British way of doing TV. They have big actors come and do these mini 6-episode things, and then 2 or 3 years later, they come back for a new series of things. They're trying to do that now because now you get famous actors doing TV shows, and you're enjoying them and you're liking them. So these actors are going to have to be in the roles for more than 10 years because, again, you're not doing them once every year. And as I said, unless they're going to just jam everything into one season, which would be crazy because the books are not equal in size. So you might have multiple seasons. So let's just say it's roughly going to be between 7 and 10 seasons. And it's going to take between 7 and, say, 15 years to complete the series. And it hasn't even started filming. It's not even starts filming till next year. So let's just say it starts filming in 2025. 15 years puts it at 2040. 15 years. So if you have an old actor like a Richard Harris, who came in to do Dumbledore, who's in his late 70s, early 80s, and you needed him for 10 plus years to do all kinds of stuff, it ain't going to happen. The fact that you were able to get Michael Gambon to do it, you went younger than Richard Harris. Michael Gambon is not as old as Richard Harris. And so you had to make up and stuff like that to do that. So that's why they're going for the younger actors and actresses in their 30s, 40s, and 50s to play these roles, because makeup will help make them look older. But they're also going to be on the series for close to 15 years. Because it's not going to get done every year, a new Harry Potter. No, it's not going to happen. Special effects, the writing, the acting. And that's going to be a hard part for the actors who are going to be playing the lead roles. They got to find kids who are like 8 or 9 years old to play 10 and 11-year-olds. Because it's going to take, as I said, close to 15 years for the series to be completed, because they're not going to do it every freaking year. So having them be younger makes a whole hell of a lot of sense to me, because you're going to get the first season is going to come out probably in 2026. Second season will be out probably in 2028. And you probably have about a year in between it to do all that stuff. And then it might get even harder when you get to the bigger, more huge set pieces. So I don't know what's going on, but it's going to take forever for this series to go if it goes all 7 books. So they need to have actors who are going to be able to age with it appropriately. The Gentleman Season 2 starts filming in April in the UK. Don't care. Never watch it, but I figured I'd let you know. First look at Yellow Jackets Season 3. That's also set to debut February 14th. Everything's coming out in February. Everything's coming out on streaming. Every streaming show is coming out next year, it seems like. Every popular one, so that's good. We got our first teaser to 28 years later. Nothing to show, really. Just a couple of weird, sort of unsettling shots here and there, and some Morse code in the background that was making out that someone said was Tuesday. So that was it. You didn't see any of the stars in it. You didn't see anything like that. You just saw the. It's a pretty effective teaser, which is what it is. John Cena, set to star with Eric Andre and the movie Little Brother, about a famous real estate agent whose life gets turned upside down by his younger brother, crazy younger brother. Netflix film. John Cena's finding a good niche for his acting, which goes to prove you that wrestlers make the best actors because they're acting to begin with. But John Cena is doing a hell of a good job picking some good roles for him and doing some things. He's got Peacemaker coming out this year, 2025 rather. So he's going to be joining the streaming series as well in 2025. So that's good on that. Filming on the shortened version of Good Omens Season 3 due to the Neil Gaiman issues is set to start January 2025. So that may or may not come out by the end of the year. More than likely, it'll probably be out in 2026. Melissa Benoist and Chris Wood are set to star in Duo for NBC. Don't know much about it, but they will be doing a TV show together on NBC. Saudi Arabia has announced the Milaf Cola, which is the first cola made from dates, which you can get in Saudi Arabia as one of their more famous products out there. And it's supposed to be a more healthier version than regular soda. I'm not a big date fan, so I can't even imagine how this is going to taste, but we'll see. Let's see, it would be 6 years. 6 years ago, one of my favorite shows of all time, Leverage, debuted in 2008 this week. Ocean's 11 with George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, and the guy who plays Rhodey. I forget his name right now. They cast of thousands. Julia Roberts is involved in that as well. Came out 23 years ago this week. Deaths. Paul Maslonsky, a producer of Police Academy and Return to Oz, as well as many other stuff, died this week. Merv Rettenmund, a former Oriole baseball player from the old age, died at the age of 81. And Steve Mensch, Tyler Perry's studio president, died this week as well. A page and a half left now. Sienna Miller is set to join the new Jack Ryan movie with John Krasinski. I think I talked about that last week, but I wasn't sure. J.D. Dillard to direct an adaptation of Nathan Bellingraw's book's sci-fi thriller, The Strange. I already talked about The White Lotus, so I didn't know if I'd done that right, but I already did. But again, The White Lotus will be debuting its third season in February as well. Again, I might just do a whole show just about all the stuff that's streaming in 2025. This is interesting news. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is returning to the director's chair. He directed I forget the name of it, but the one about the porno star, not the porno star, the guy who was obsessed with porn and he starts dating Scarlett Johansson. Lucky fella. This time he gets to work with, I don't know if he's actually going to be in it, but he is directing another hottie, and Anne Hathaway. She signed on to this film that he's going to be directing, which is an untitled AI thriller with Ryan Johnson producing it. So Anne Hathaway is really going all out. She's got like 5 movies in the works coming up, and they're all different. So that's pretty cool. So hooray for Annie. I already talked about that. Boom. The world's first underwater tennis stadium is set to debut in Dubai. It's going to have clear walls, so you'll be able to be playing tennis. And while you're playing tennis, you'll be able to see all the fish and wildlife under the sea flying around, which could be very distracting. But hey, let's go for it. The second season of The Night Manager with Tom Hiddleston has finished filming. That very well could sneak into this to 2025 as well, but it wouldn't be till later in the year anyway. Frosted Pop-Tart cinnamon rolls, sweet tarts, gummy something, donut hole cereal, Slim Jim candy cane, packs, spicy chipotle and hot honey V8 drinks, and Jack Daniels infused coffee are all some of the new products you can get out in the world right now. Hot cocoa flavored life is also another one that is out in the stores now. Speaking of Tom Hiddleston, Mike Flanagan directed a adaptation of a Stephen King short story called The Life of Chuck. It debuted at multiple film festivals. It's been getting huge rave reviews. Has a stellar cast in it, including Tom Hiddleston. And Karen Gillan, I think, is in it. And someone went to school with, Saida Ukolona, is in it as well. So I have to watch it just for that. It's finally got a interesting thing that it debuted in film festivals this year, but is not set to debut in movie theaters until the summer of 2025. They believe it's probably going to be a big hit. I think it will be. It's gotten a lot of rave reviews also. I think they want to get out sooner than later. They don't want to drop it in the winter because not a lot of stuff comes out there. But May 30th is a good date, right around Memorial Day. It's the Friday after Memorial Day, I think, because Memorial Day is that first Monday, so it would have to be that Friday. Let's see. Yep. Memorial Day will be on the 26th of May. That Friday, the 30th of May, will be the debut of The Life of Chuck. So that's pretty cool on that. So excited to see that. I will probably see that in the movie theater, probably. I did that one already. Hey, we're talking about Harry Potter. Rupert Grint, who played Ron Weasley, owes the UK £2.3 million due to a tax issue he had back when he was younger with declaring about his Harry Potter money and stuff like that. He had an issue, either was confused or didn't want to do it or didn't understand or whatever, but he owes the UK government £2.3 million in tax money. So he'll do it. Obviously he'll get it done, but it's just kind of interesting to see that. 'Tis the season for It's a Wonderful Life, but this time we have a radio play. It's a Wonderful Life, starring real-life couple Ewan McGregor and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, as well as Jim Beaver, who is the guy who's directing the radio play. He's going to be in it as well. So that's interesting. I didn't know they still did radio plays, but I guess so. I guess probably more of an England thing, probably, UK thing, since both McGregor and Winstead are both English. Thanksgiving 2, the horror film with Eli Roth, because it did so popular 2 years ago, is set to start filming soon. The script is done, and the lead actress, has already signed on to reprise her role. So we're going to be getting a Thanksgiving 2 filming early next year, which means we will get it next year in time for Thanksgiving because it's a horror film. They did the same thing. They did it early, and then we're able to get it out only a few months later. Fallout Season 2 has started filming as well. So that's excellent. Macaulay Culkin is going to be playing a mad genius, apparently. But Walton Goggins revealed it was being the filming had started because they showed him getting his makeup for his character. The Last Breath trailer is a new movie with Woody Harrelson and Simu Liu, based on a true story, set to debut February 25th. About divers who have to survive after the boat that they're attached to loses power and gets caught in a storm. So that should be interesting. Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow bought a $3 million Batmobile tumbler car, similar to the one in the Chris Nolan trilogy. The Fantastic Four has finished filming, which means it should hit its debut in July. So they're going to do post-production now, get all that stuff here. We should probably see a trailer in time for the Super Bowl, I would assume. So that's pretty decent. The Snow White trailer set to debut March 21st. Actually I think it looks pretty decent. It looks like a good fantasy film, but it's getting a lot of hate also because Rachel Zegler, who plays Snow White, is Hispanic. Oh my God! What the hell? And the evil queen, played by Gal Gadot, is Israeli. Oh my God! What the fuck? Woke Disney. And to be fair, the dwarfs look a little off, but in this trailer, they seem to be interesting and to see the animals. I like the special effects in it. I like how this trailer looks. Will I see the movie theater? Hell no, I won't, because it's not my style, but I hope it does successful to shut those fucking assholes up. Scream 7 is set to start filming on January 7th. So we'll be getting that. We very well could get that in time for December of 2025, when the Scream movies usually came out. You've got 2 new cast members, Celeste O'Connor, who played in Ghostbusters Afterlife and Frozen Empire, and was also in Madam Web, is been cast in that. And Asa German has also joined the cast of Scream 7 as well. So we got 4 cast members right now. We're still waiting on to see if Courtney Cox is going to join them. Kevin Williamson is prepping it, and it's going to start filming in early January. I would almost bet that's coming out in December when the other Scream movies came out, with the exception of this new version of them. Wouldn't surprise me at all, because it is, as I said, one of these things that you'll be able to film it, edit it. There's not a lot of special effects in it. You'll be able to get it ready in time for the fall. They might even release it in October, which would be really cool also, but I think they're going to be aiming for December of 2025. But the fact that Celeste O'Connor has joined the cast is phenomenal as well, so that's really good. 'Tis the season for Christmas movies, but as with all good things, you need to have your Christmas horror movies. So a series of Christmas horror movies were talked about this week. Santa Stein was released this week by like Shudder and stuff like that. And Secret Santa, about someone who kills people at Christmas dinner, are 2 of those strange ones. Plus, with the popularity of Wicked right now, Yellow Brick Road is the name of a film about a town that went to see The Wizard of Oz in 1940 and then disappeared off of the face of the earth. And fast forward to 2008, when a group of filmmakers decide to see what happened. And of course, all things go to hell, Blair Witch style. Missing Pennsylvania woman, grandmother, is believed to have fallen into a sinkhole looking for her cat. So hopefully she'll be okay, and the cat will be okay as well. And Chi-Chi's, the Mexican fast food-ish kind of restaurant, is set to make a return next year. Again, don't know. Again, it'll be a very small scattered release period for Chi-Chi's, so don't expect it in your area until they see how these other ones thing, unless you live in like a big city. So expect it in like your Chicagos and New Yorks and Californias and stuff like that, maybe down in Texas and Florida as well. But don't expect it like here in Maryland. I don't expect any Chi-Chi's to pop up right away. Maybe if it's successful, maybe it'll pop up there later on. The only death I have on this page, I already did that one. Yeah, so I did talk about that one. So that was the only one I talked about. So I talked about that one already. It's Dr. Yoder. I didn't know if I'd done it or not. Anniversaries. Krampus, 9-year, the movie Krampus by Mike Donahue, who did the Trick or Treat movie, debuted 9 years ago this week in time for Krampusnacht. Also talking about horror, not really horror. This one's more of an action Christmas movie. Violent Night with David Harbour debuted 2 years ago with Santa Claus action star. The Last Samurai debuted 20 years ago this week, and Dumb and Dumber finished Jim Carrey's trifecta of 30 years ago, with Ace Ventura coming out early in the first quarter of 1994, 30 years ago. The Mask coming out in the middle of the year in the summertime and being successful. And here we have the third, the trifecta. Dumb and Dumber debuted 30 years ago this week, which cemented 1994 as the year of Jim Carrey. Our last half here, as I said, it's going to be just about 1:30 when we're done. I think I mentioned this, but I'm going to say it again. Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld are engaged, and Josh Josh Allen's ex-girlfriend written a post making fun of his CRT head damage problems and saying that she's with a real man now, but she then claimed that she was hacked. To me, it sounds like she was bitter that he did not marry her instead and is jealous that he's marrying someone else. And she wants to flaunt her boyfriend, who is a owner of a football team, but not a football player, as if everything was good. I don't know. Speaking of Josh Allen, his Buffalo Bills played football on last Sunday night, in the middle of a blizzard. And they got a lake effect snow that came in and was snowing from like Thursday to Sunday of last week. The snow, I think it was still snowing when they were playing. It dropped close to 50 some inches of snow on Buffalo, and they still played in it. And the Bills won the game. But what was interesting is that during the game, they were playing the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers were setting up for a field goal, and they kicked the field goal. It was good. But the video shows that as the ball was going through the uprights, a snowball comes flying out to try to deflect it, which I think is hilarious. So that's kind of funny. Saoirse Ronan and Jacob Anderson are set to star in Bad Apples, said to come out in 2025. This could be last as well. These two will be the last ones. New Section 31 trailer with Michelle Yeoh, either January 24th or 26th, something like that. Looks absolutely fantastic. It's supposed to be a series, but they decided to turn it into a movie instead. And it's about the Black Ops Star Trek crew. And I think it's really, really cool. Witcher 4 video game starts production. I think I talked about that as well, but I just wanted to bring that up again. Dill Pickle Grinch Sour Marshmallow Peeps. Don't know if that was an AI-generated one or if that's a real one. Not sure, but I figured I'd talk about because it's one I really hadn't seen before, but looked real enough for me and not like you could tell usually these AI ones. This looks a little bit more real than that. Anya Taylor-Joy to star in Lucky, a limited series on Apple TV. Man, I should get Apple TV. They get all the good stuff. The highest grossing Thanksgiving movie weekend ever happened this past Thanksgiving, with the box office totaling $422 million, led by Moana 2, which did phenomenal business. Wicked, which saw a very small decline and still made over $100 million last week. And then Gladiator 2 also had a very small decline, not much by much, and it made an additional $55 million, something like that. $422 million 5-day weekend is insane. And congratulations to that. That trifecta will probably be on top for a while because there's really not a lot of stuff coming out. Everybody's already talking about the flop that Kraven the Hunter is going to be. Then the War of the Rohirrim, Lord of the Rings one isn't going to do that well. I don't even know. I think Nosferatu's been getting a lot of buzz, but I don't think it's going to be huge because who wants to watch a horror movie on Christmas time? I don't know. So we'll see. That might just be it, and the big three might be in there for a little while. But the fact that Wicked and Gladiator 2 barely dropped from their huge week the week before is absolutely insane. Before I get to the last two stories, deaths. Dave Hamer, referee for the NFL, passed away this week. Wayne Northrup, a Days of Our Lives star, died at the age of 77. Ernie McMillan, a former NFL player, died this week. And Lou Carnesecca, a legendary St. John University basketball coach, died this week as well. Anniversaries, Santa Claus, the movie, 39 years ago this week with Dudley Moore. I think John Lithgow's in that as well. 35 years ago this week, the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation debuted. The Shape of Water debuted 7 years ago this week as well, went on to win Best Picture. And The Naked Gun debuted 36 years ago this week. So our last two stories this week. First up, I said earlier in the show, Beverly Hills Cop is celebrating its 40th anniversary this week. The star of that one, Eddie Murphy, his son Eric just got engaged to Martin Lawrence's daughter, Jasmine. Now, Eddie and Martin worked together in the movie Life that came out in 1999, which has got really, really good reviews, a comedy drama set in a prison. They got a lot of good reviews. Now they will be family in-laws to each other. It'll be his brother-in-law. So, right? No, not brother-in-law. But it's going to be, they're going to be in-laws now. So they're going to be, related by marriage now. So that's interesting. I was like, when stuff like that happens, I always think that's kind of cool. Like the fact that, it was Tony Hawk and Nirvana's lead singer's daughter, were Tony Hawk's son and Nirvana's lead singer's daughter, I think, got married. I think was another one. Those are kind of interesting to see that kind of stuff. And the last story for this week. Today is December 8th here on the East Coast. Sunday, December 8th will be the last show of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. I'm not a Swiftie, but I became one over not like a huge Swiftie, but I became a fan of her over the last year and a half of her concert here, her Eras Tour. During this time, it started back in March of 2023 and finishes in December 2024 in Vancouver, British Columbia. Still not over. It's a 3-hour difference, 12, 11, 10, 9. So the concert for Saturday is probably still going on right now in Vancouver. So the penultimate show is still occurring live right now because they're out on the West Coast. But this is the final day for the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. An astounding tour for Taylor Swift. A tour that was 3+ hours long, where she sang songs from every single one of her albums that was released. Multiple costume changes, lots of visual effect stuff, lots of great dancing, lots of interaction with the fans. The 22 Hat Girl is always a big deal, or child, I should say, is also a boy sometimes, is a big deal. And during this tour, remember, March 2023, she was still dating, I think, Joe, and they broke up soon after during the Eras Tour. And then in the summer of 2023, that's when she hooked up with Travis Kelce, and they're still together now. So it's been a huge deal for her, starting in the United States, going to Australia, England, Japan, back to the United States, up to Canada. It's an astounding tour. It is amazing that they pulled it off. It made a shit ton of money, not only for Taylor, but also for the cities that hosted the concert, because of all the fans coming in and spending money at the local restaurants and hotels and rental cars and stuff like that. They got a shit ton of money thrown into their city as well. That's why there's a country in South America, like Argentina or something like that, that did not get a chance for Taylor Swift to have an Eras Tour come to them, because she did go to South America. They did not have a venue for her, so they decided they were going to build one distinctly for her. It's set to be finished up in 2028, which is probably about the same time that Taylor will probably go back out on tour. She's going to be taking a year off from everything, touring, writing music, stuff like that, just spending time with Travis, which could mean, if she's taking a year off, which means they could be announcing an engagement and getting married over this year period, like that. And they might get pregnant really quickly right away. So once she has, gets her family started, by 2027, she'll probably want to start itching to get back out there. and writing music about her life as a wife and a mother. So like that would be a whole new era for Taylor Swift, and we'll see what she can come up with that. I have to applaud her. She did an outstanding job, though she didn't come to Baltimore, which is disappointing. But she did an outstanding job. She did come to Baltimore for the championship game, which the Ravens lost, but still her concert did not show up in Baltimore. That would have been nice to have that. Maybe next time. But I have to applaud her. It was an insane idea for a tour, and she pulled it off beautifully. She made money. She made the city's money. She had millions upon millions of people so excited and happy and peace and love and everything. And she helped poor people and animals and stuff like that. Every stop she gave money to charities and stuff like that. She's an amazing woman, and the GOP MAGAs can go fuck themselves with her attacking her, because that is how a real billionaire should be acting, and not these shitty ones that we have running our country into the ground and turning us into fascist Nazism states. Taylor, my lady, thank you very much. You've done good, and you deserve this break. So congratulations. That's it for this week's episode of Dylan Knows. Next week's episode will be on the 14th of December. Should be day 2 or 3 of my 12 Days of Christmas stuff, so we'll have some of that. So you'll see more of me, but my next Dylan Knows will not be till next Saturday. You should be seeing some of my list show stuff coming up here later this week. My daughter, her birthday, 18th birthday, is on Thursday, so that's the big deal about this week. And we have a Friday the 13th in December also this week as well. After this wild week that we had, I don't know how they're going to tap it. By this time next week, Taylor Swift will be done and on her vacation. And hopefully my inside of my house will be decorated by the time I'm back here in 7 days. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the like I just got. And thanks for listening to me ramble on. As I said, next week, my daughter's 18th birthday, Friday the 13th. And then we're going to start my 12 Days of Christmas shows. So it's going to be busy. You're going to see a lot of me starting on Thursday, Friday. So we'll see what happens. All right, y'all. I got to go because I'm going to have to get up early. I'm going to stay up probably another hour and then go to bed soon, because I do have a Christmas tree farm to go to. Don't really want to, but kind of obligated to. My wife wants to go and spend time with her family. So it's just going to be us. So it's going to be warmer. It's been really chilly the last 3 weeks. So now we're getting into some normal temperatures over the next few days. So that's good. All right, y'all. I'm done. I'm tired. Taylor Swift, thank you. Congratulations. And my dryer just finished up. I'm going to keep it down here because I don't feel like taking anything upstairs. All right, y'all. Good night. See you next week.